One important message that I like to get across to everybody that will listen is that this is not a science fiction project in someone's garage in Sunnyvale, California, Silicon Valley. This is a world-changing commercial operation which is live today. There's a common misconception, I think, sometimes that this is a future endeavor. Quite the opposite. We're deployed for customers including PepsiCo, Tyson, Kroger, Loblaws, that's Canada's largest retailer. We have over 100 trucks commercially deployed today. Many of them are driverless, operating in multiple different jurisdictions. I mean, no human operator behind the wheel of the vehicle, no safety observer. So when we talk about the true benefits of autonomy actually being delivered to communities across North America, this is what Gatik is doing today. So higher speed deliveries, higher frequency deliveries, lower cost, closer to home. Consumers like you and me are very demanding. We like stuff yesterday. Autonomous trucks are a very, very important tool in the toolbox to be able to achieve this.
Well, what the public has been seeing over these years is mainly on the robotaxi side. And in the early days, if there's one crash, everybody kind of shivers like, oh man, this whole thing's going to go down. And we're beyond that with robotaxi. Waymo has such solid data and such huge amount of operations that if some other robotaxi company does something stupid, it's not going to bring down robotaxi. It's segregated to those specific companies. And that's a benefit to the trucking as well. And we're not quite at that point in trucking in terms of, particular companies have that much heft, but we're going to get there. That's important.
This is our third conference on autonomous trucking. And the title of this conference, or the theme of this conference, was a little bit different than the previous ones in that we were focused on everything that's happening in North America. And so the first part of the conference was a very good dialogue and interchange about what's going on in Canada, what's going on in the United States. And it was also very clear that at the official level, there have been lots of conversations going on between Ottawa and Washington. We also had Richard Bishop, who's really kind of the godfather of autonomous vehicle technology information systems in the United States. Talk a lot about what had happened, where we're going, what we're going, and the different business models that they're being followed.
So PAVE's a 501c3 nonprofit, and our goal is to educate the public and the public sector on autonomous vehicles and their potential. Pretty diverse group of stakeholders, but really all united on this belief that AVs have a lot of potential to improve our transportation ecosystem, but the public needs to be on board. We have to have public trust in order to bring these technologies to fruition. That said, we have a ways to go when it comes to building public trust. Studies show that the people are really skeptical, and we have some work to do in that space. Being that this was the first session of the day, I wanted to start things out with sort of a level-setting conversation on what autonomous vehicles and autonomous trucks are, how they work, how they're classified, and what the regulatory landscape looks like. I talked a bit about what we do at PAVE as well, and then we went into a panel discussion that brought up a lot of themes, workforce being a big one, crossing country borders. We were talking about, U.S. operations and Canada operations. So we covered a lot of ground in a short time.
There's 4 major truck manufacturers in the U.S. It's PACCAR, Volvo, Freightliner, and International. All 4 are involved in bringing this to the market. 3 of them have said it'll be in 2027. So we're on the precipice of seeing, the real deal rolling off the assembly line. And these are global companies. So it'll start in the U.S. because the regulatory environment works for that, but the regulations are evolving very quickly for Europe and the rest of the world. So these companies, they'll roll it out for the U.S., but as soon as it's available or allowable in other countries, boom, it goes there. So that's why their role is so important.
We've been really busy this last year. We've done quite a bit of work legislatively. Our last session, we passed 2 bills, one for Senate Bill 67. That bill was for autonomous vehicles and has a large vehicle component to that. It requires us to engage with all the various stakeholders to help develop what the rules are going to be. So within the law itself, it's very narrowed down, safety focused, but the rule side is really where we're going to be instituting whatever we're going to do in Montana and ensure that we're overseeing that public safety side of it.
Law enforcement is we're a strange bunch, right? So we hate change, but we also don't like the way it is, right? So it's a constant battle of kind of, talking to the first responders and kind of engaging them, getting them to understand the benefits of autonomy. When you look at autonomy that doesn't get tired, doesn't get distracted, doesn't make a phone call, doesn't make a meal going down the road, and you couple that with the fact that the CVSA enhanced inspection on the base vehicle components, just part of that, you're looking at the safest vehicles on the road, especially when you consider over 80% of heavy vehicle crashes were due to driver error. We've heard safety come up multiple times today, which is great, right? Because we have that focus. But that's truly the driving force behind. Now, will there be a return on investment with saving fuel mileage and those kinds? Sure, but saving lives is the main reason that most of us are in the space. So.
We're a Vision Zero state, and for those that don't know what Vision Zero is, it's zero deaths, zero serious injuries on our highways. If we're truly going to get there, if that's a realistic goal, it's going to have to come through automation, taking that human behavior out from behind the wheel. And this technology will help us get there. And if we really want to get there, we need to be at the table and help developing and oversee how that goes. So
We covered a lot of territory. All throughout the day, we had great questions from the audience, great interaction among the panelists, so it went about as good as I could have expected it to. Communication underlies everything. As all of the panelists said, we need to keep talking. Communication between the autonomous trucking industry and the state regulators and policymakers, communications between the industries and shippers who will potentially use autonomous trucking, communication with the general public and building that trust that's going on. So I would say continue the communication, continue the dialogue.